Here we go! Winnerbracket final. Finally, after a little bit of a downtime, we have a game once again. And we mentioned it before. This is the decision for the third place in the playoffs after Blade and Neutron. So HawK 2-1 against the Great Wall. Definitely harder than expected for HawK. Also Spiral struggling versus Knight, and after defeating Wan with 2-1 recently. We had a post-game interview with Spiral about exactly this upcoming matchup, Orc versus Human. And a couple of weeks ago he said he hates it. What were the insights we got 2 days ago?
Yeah, this matchup has been in flux for him. Sometimes, some weeks he feels it's really good for him, he's feeling really strong. The Orcs have figured something out, then a little bit later the Humans have figured out. It flips the other way and keeps on going like that. One day like this, one day like that. So he wasn't able to make a precise statement for what it was definitively for him, but that it is very much so in flux. What we do know, what is set in stone, what will not be questioned here is the first hero choice, Farseer. It has proven from the Orcs against Human to be the way better choice. Against Undead, there's a lot of deviation. There's Farseer and Blade Master. Against Night Elf, it's only Blade, but in this matchup, it's only the Farseer. The Farseer, along with TC, with the Stomp, is what strikes fear into the hearts of the Humans, who have a wide array of strategies to choose from. Some people play rifles, some people play casters. There's also the possibility of Dragonhawks. There's counter expansion options. So this matchup is still very interesting to me. There is a certain trend that usually we follow for a few weeks, but there's always the potential for adjustment. And if you're really wild, that adjustment can even be so innovative, as Griffins.
Yeah, true. We saw the Muslim with that. It's also always like I feel like there's not this one meta that has been established, but a lot of what players prioritize. So we'll see what HawK is doing. I would think that he goes for rifles, and then it's going to be interesting how Spiral plays against that. Thank you, Hydratey, for the 2-month resub.
That's it.
Yep. Farseer still 0. Got it!
Ooh, that's a big deal.
Item goes to HawK, but yeah, experience. Everything in this early game is about experience, so this wolf save is nice. And that steal, so big.
And that's a tower before tech, because HawK wanted to somewhat safely go for the green to get the level up, but didn't get it. So it's going to be a late tech for HawK, much behind Spirals. Almost half a tech behind. Oh man, it's going to be a massive difference in the second heroes then.
And on top of things, he got that water elemental as well. It was another big chunk of experience. Yeah. He's already 110.
He's getting the turtles as well, at least the small one. AM needs 2 more creeps for the level up. Checks out the main. He can cancel one burrow here, maybe, but it's going to cost him a lot of health if he does it.
Yeah, and Spiral's not
Farseer gets surrounded.
What?
Spiral again, not looking.
Can he fight out? It's getting close. He really doesn't want that TP. 10 HP! Oh my. God. If this footman had a pike instead of a sword, this Farseer would be dead.
Militia creeping the rest of the greens.
There's a footman! Block! Right click! Fountain! Is it enough? 7 HP! Oh my. Spiral playing with fire here. Oh, MK is coming. That's it. Lets it die. Gives level 2 for free.
He's blocked behind the TC as well. It really doesn't look like the proper play.
A player's forces are under attack.
And shouldn't he have just bought a telestaff and just staff back to the main? Wouldn't he have been safe there? Staff in there, get a heal scroll, get a heal self, stay in the base or just walk away. Of course, you don't want to get surrounded in the first place. Again, this is not Spiral's strongest day.
HawK healing the footman in the upper left. Attacking now. Wolves are harassing again, but killed immediately. And as expected, HawK is going rifles. No bestiary for Spiral, so he lost the hero. He's now back, but he could need some creeping, and he has no bestiary, so no wyvern to back that creeping up. He's kind of relying on last hits and stuff.
Might be able to get some on the footies here. HawK does move them back though properly. A water elemental would be enough. Speed scroll for the 1 footman. Okay. Gets the level 2 with that water elemental. And has to invest a chain lightning to get that footy. A scroll of speed and a chain lightning.
Double Arcane.
Things seem to be a little bit off here for Spiral.
Double Arcane Sanctum behind the blacksmith. That's also kind of interesting. Archmage under pressure, but should be fine here. Has no shop though, so it's kind of reliant on the priests again. Expansion by Spiral at 33 supply. As there's no Archmage level 3, I wonder if this is pushable. And when?
Has to wait for the MK, I guess. At the very least. This is a very nice thing for the TC on this map. You get a level 2 right away. You go over to the merchant, you creep a little bit more, you go for the green maybe, and that's your level 3. Very easy to level up to level 2 Stomp here on this map. A little bit harder certainly for the MK, who can't solo creep so easily as the Torrent Chieftain can. And Spiral seems to be recovering well here in the mid-game. More Shaman, more Grunts. May have forgotten about that Borrow a little bit. I can go for the heal scroll here in a moment.
You can also go for a depth upgrade. And okay, that's exactly what he's doing, and then it lines up nicely. Could also go for bestiary, but out of resources now. Priests are coming. What's next? Sorceress as well, plus the spell, plus shop. Only 1 rifle against a possible wyvern? Looks like it.
A player's forces are under attack.
Three priests into Sorks. This is always the problem when you play casters. You need a pretty high amount of units to have a good army. You need 3 priests, 2 or 3 to sustain. You need a lot of Sorks. Ooh, water elemental block fails. You need like at least 3, more like 4 Sorks to slow everything for the orc. And then you still need a good number of breakers to actually have a front line and a sturdy army. Takes a long time to produce. Probably you will need to be in upkeep for this. Whereas playing rifles and priests is much simpler. You just need like 3 to 4 priests and the rest is rifles. Whether you're high in supply or low in supply, it always works.
He's trying that Lord trap again, but the trappers are protecting it, and so it fails for the second time. Level 3 TC has been unlocked. It has an invul potion as well. Lots of mana on the shaman. With adept ready.
Militia have been called, but are now returning as well. Spiral must know that the militia have indeed been called. Expansion now finished. We'll start mining in just a moment's time. Spiral gives the rock golem now to his opponent. If he could snipe the Ogre Lord in a trade, that would of course be great for him, but looks like he's feeling that that would be a little bit too greedy and is going for his lab instead.
After how he was playing the last series and also the beginning of this map, maybe not too confident. Taking a safe spot right here. Also a good item for him. But that is the Ogre for HawK. 2 big camps in a row.
Classic Spiral. I kind of made fun of him a little bit in the cast before, and I know that he noticed this when I talked about expansions being spiral expansions because they're too far away from the gold mine. And again, he misplaced his Great Hall a little bit. Only minimally costs him gold, but makes me chuckle. MK level 3, Catgus Pipe. Not useful for him, but at least kept away from the orc side. And MK is super far forward. This is definitely going to cost him one of the potions here to get out. And uses the invul, holds on to the big heal.
Okay, burn some mana with the feedback. Pressure on the TC who has a big mana. But okay, 57 supply for HawK. At one point he has to push. Is that 1 point now? Or do we make a pit stop at the fountain first? Spiral also at 60. Not supply block can go up. And we get a bestiary as well for the Kodo.
Alright, this is the big push by HawK. He's basically all in. What's the item saying? Heal pot, mana pot, invul. No heal scrolls. Not a single heal scroll.
That could hurt against Lightning Shield, my friends. So how good are the connections? How good and how quick can Spiral use his spells? The Militia soak up a lot of damage. Speed scroll to re-engage. Clap was good. Kodo Beast stopped in an instant, but Mountain King down to 50%. And what do these peasants really do? Not a single stomp yet. He's really trying hard to find the back line. Now going on to that Mountain King. There was no lightning shield at all here, but more pressure on this Archmage. Dodges the stomp with an invul. That was really nice. Mountain King has another mana potion, but will he be able to use it? Chain Lightning, right click. HawK is losing the second hero and the carry in this matchup. Heal scroll consumed for Spiral. He wants another hero kill with the stomp. Raining lightning bolts from the shaman, but it's not enough. But the MK kill is key to victory. 70 supply, not losing anything. And Expo is still up.
Yeah, the MK there on level 2 only. No, wait, he was actually level 3. Still not proving to be good enough. He had the invul potion, he had the heal potion, but had to transfer the invul to the AM. I was really missing a dispel there on the TC, on the speed scroll, but not so easy with Priest, with the way healing works and so on. And now this game is looking great for Spiral. Just needs to heal up, heal self everything, get new items, new heal scrolls, no invuls, and then wait for the next attack, I guess.
Yeah. But the longer the game goes, we see it here in the gold grab.
A player's forces
So
are under attack.
much. And HawK can't catch up at some point. Either he will have a smaller army or he'll have a lesser inventory. And with that MK dead for a bit, I don't know. Level 4 TC, level 3 Farseer, mana potions everywhere. Spiral using every single dime of gold he has.
A little of accuracy for HawK, that is certainly a nice item. But what he needs is more breakers. Tons of breakers to feed back the TC, to keep him at range. But this is only 4 breakers. It's really not that many.
No reinforced defenses yet. That could be a comeback mechanism, as Infi displayed wonderfully against Cash and WGTL.
The town is under siege.
Alright, here comes the push. TP home from Spiral. HawK needs to fall back here a little bit. But the TP isn't even too aggressive.
Needs to reestablish his front line and positioning. Here we go. Stomp was not that great. Once again, no lightning shield. He's saving all that mana for purges. Can he make the connection? Clap is, of course, huge, but we do have heal scrolls against that. Invul potion the TC to not get nuked. Here's the stun. He's going for the MK once again. Heavy hero focus. Stomp once more. There's nothing on this MK, and he is out of that fight.
That looks like it might be the game. Kodo's coming in now looking for some devours, but even without it, it's enough. It's 68 supply against HawK, only at 54, and the most important piece of the army is already taken out. The Mountain King can't clap him to victory anymore. He's moving himself into a corner here, it seems. No TP for the AM. Can't get out. Spiral's about to lose a lot of grunts here, to be fair, but it doesn't really matter. He's gonna get the next hero kill, and that is GG. And 1-0 for the German.
Spiral taking that number 1 pretty convincingly after a slight little hiccup, losing the first hero in the early game. But then good expansion timing. HawK never pressured this. The Rifleman, I don't know, didn't do too much, so it was the right idea to skip the Wyvern. And then you give an Orc with an expansion time, he builds a huge ass army, gets all the items on the map, and then things are really, really rough for you if the Mountain King is not out leveling everyone.
Yeah, also the Breakers, I feel like they didn't do their job. They didn't drain the TC, they didn't block the TC.
It took quite some time in the first fight, I feel, until the TC was reaching the back line, but it just, simply wasn't enough. And the feedback isn't enough, and at one point, the TC will be there where he needs to be in the casters.
Yeah, HawK didn't go for the Infi approach here of counter-expanding. Still very much so focused on pushing. Didn't work out on map 1, we'll see what happens on map 2. Concealed, of course, is a very good map for Farseer expansion. And HawK will try to make it a bit harder on the next map. Usual suspects here are Northern Isles, we see quite a bit. What other map do we see a lot in this matchup? LR?
The Northern Isles it is. Wasn't vetoed by anyone. And the last remaining map would be Echo Isles.
Echo. Okay.
Thank you, Xalek, for the 2-month resub. Nice.
Nice. Thank you, Salek.
I missed the days when you just push tier 2 Orc Burrows and win every game for free. Maybe with some towers behind that as well. You really missed that too much? Was that a nice game? I don't know.
AM, Beastmaster, Ivories, Militia. Oh yes, how beautiful it was.
But you must love Fortitude games. Because that's pretty much what he's doing. Every single time against Orc.
I guess despite the Farseer dying in the early game there on map 1, he still didn't allow the AM to creep to level 3 too easily. That's always the big problem. If AM gets level 3 quickly, and then the MK comes out, and then he puts on pressure with the elementals. And normally just 1 or 2 shaman can't deal with all that pressure from the LEs. In the worst case, of course, cancel some tier 2 buildings, kill some burrows. So, despite the Farseer dying, perhaps he actually did his job on map 1.
Little sacrificial lamb afterwards. But it was good. It was the last hits were just so huge early on. The big turtle plus the water elemental, that was a little too easy. Shouldn't happen, but did. Spiral joined. HawK is seemingly ready as well. We give our go. And then Spiral could be the first Orc in the round of 8 for Saturday after played at Neutron. And then all that's missing is an undead, and we have 2 more undeads in the lowers finals. Lowers semifinals.
Play is ready to go, but I think I guess they're still doing the analysis and stuff.
Think so too. Huh? I closed. All the streamers are in already.
Northern Isles is an interesting map in this matchup. Can be quite the headache for human early on. There's no free level 2 at all. You go for the green camp, and then the Orc is always there to harass you right away, and might very well be able to force you to remain level 1 for a really long time, which is super annoying, not having the Brilliance Aura to back you up for so long. But it can very much change around on tier 2. The creep route for level 3 MK is really strong. It's the Tuskars into the lab, and that's it. Just 2 camps that can be oftentimes done rather easily if you use Militia to help you. But of course, TC can also creep quite well.
Yeah, there's always a nice little back and forth. Who gets the power spike in the middle? Who claims the merchant? Who gets the marketplace? It's just a nice map in pretty much every matchup. Did Neutron cut his hair and eyebrows as he promised? We're in talks.
He is co-casting on Sunday, right?
I don't know. We lost.
So,
No,
what we said
won.
last week.
No, the bet was if he wins the bet, then he cast with us. So our loss would have been to have Neutron.
We have to have him on, though, at least for a short amount of time. Just to show off what he's looking like now. Does no one miss the Beastmaster? I kind of miss him, but not for those stupid all-in tower pushes. But soon, boys. Soon the Bash Bear is gonna be buffed. Is that gonna be enough, though?
I feel like Beastmaster, like it's just not an exciting hero. There's nothing exciting about him. It's a little bit like not as bad as a Potom, but kind of close.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't have the flashiest toolkit. But if Moon plays him and he does Huntress run-bys and there's expansions everywhere and drops and crazy multitasking, I could see it being a cool Beastmaster game.
But if every game is like that...
Yeah, of course not every game. Unless he gets to level 5. And then we have the Blinking Bash Bear. That's amazing.
Should be starting soon. What's going on Dread's stream? Are they still... they also have a delay. Do they have a delay? Not even sure. Let me check. Still 7k viewers. Really nice. Almost 10k viewers for a European tournament group stage. That is, I guess, unheard of. Thank you, Your Voice is Ambrosia, for the 6-month resub. Much love.
Thank you.
You click, you hear that? It's ticking, it's time! And Spiral is punching for the 2-0 for the playoffs. This is where the money is, by the way. Everyone eliminated in the group stage gets nothing. So one map for some prize monies and the quarterfinal.
Spiral with the lead in the top right. And HawK trailing in the bottom left, but this now is his pick. So hopefully he's got a better idea of how to execute. Despite the hero kill, it felt like he was never really in control of that game, the last one, which is pretty crazy. Fell so far behind in levels. The creep brow really does favor the orc heavily on concealed, as you can creep the natural so easily with the TC solo, the AM not even required. Imagine the MK trying to do that, trying to keep the natural just with a handful of footies. Oh, that would not go over well.
Thank you, Read a Book, for your tier 1 resub. For example, this is esports and how to spell it. Should be good. So Archmage it is. Farseer it is. No changes as expected. Maybe some changes in the build order on the way to tier 2.
It's most likely gonna be instant harass. Farseer grunt harass is very strong here, can be very strong if executed well. As I mentioned earlier, AM has a tough time here getting to level 2. And if the Farseer should either be able to steal the last hit of the Murlocs or push the human away from the Murlocs and then deny the level 2 that way, that can make things very difficult for the human player in the mid game. Farseer is fine if it's very creep unintensive game. In fact, it's exactly what he wants. He does fine on low levels. Level 1 Farseer in the late game is fine. Level 2 Farseer in the late game is fine. But the AM, he needs to get his levels up quickly. Needs to get to 2 quickly. Needs to get to 3 quickly. And ensure, with the strength of his levels, that the MK will be able to have a decent game later on. Footy Scout sees what's going on. There's nothing surprising here. That much had to be expected. What did the AM get? Ring of Protection. Well, that's certainly pretty horrible for now. Later on the MK it might be nice, but he was hoping for those claws.
Can he find him now? Definitely looks like it. He sees the movement. So now question is base or creep? What do I attack? And definitely looks like he's going for that base. With the Water Elemental, he could easily get some experience. Seems a little undecisive. Farseer is not doing any damage. That was weird.
Spiral is giving also level 2 away for free to HawK.
Yeah.
And all of this just for Water Elemental experience?
He's not even getting that.
I'm sorry to say, but Spiral's sloppy day continues.
Yeah. That wasn't great at all. So we have the Brilliance Aura working for HawK. Like game one kind of looks okay. And then in game 2, there's something really off. Same against Night End.
Yeah, I guess the Farseer movement wasn't the greatest in game 1 either, with getting surrounded there and stuff. But he had a pretty good game plan. He came over to the green camp right away. Delayed level 2 for a long time for the AM. And this is not supposed to be the prime delay level 2 map in the map pool. He just gave it away so easily. Of course, the wolves are still annoying in the main. Are gonna be able to get 1 or 2 peasant kills. And HawK feels forced to retreat and try to save as many peasants as he can. Grunt is stuck in the main, by the way. This one's dead. Starting to be a lot of lost slumber time, though.
Yeah. He's at 140.
And old also.
Oh man, this is a lot.
It's time to turn around. The
Yeah.
Grunt died, yes, but this is definitely worth it.
A footman.
Also going down?
What's up today?
Finally, the arcane finishes. Oh my god, that was desperately needed.
Yeah. No experience, of course, due to the tower kills. Okay. Beastery this time. Fast Wyvern.
HawK has some number issues. He definitely can't go double Sanctum.
Yeah, not at all. He can barely afford 1.
Yeah. But that's what he's doing. There's no blacksmith coming. So he's gonna have to wait for the second Sanctum for quite a while. May even have to remake peasants. But I think he's still okay with that. 5 peasants on lumber. Which is not gonna be the best militia support. In this game, certainly, he will absolutely not be able to counter-expand.
No. This is gonna be interesting. Farseer still... Oh, can he get the last hit? No. Goes to the Archmage. Maybe another Water Elemental is about to expire, though. So HawK is playing decently around it now. Yeah, not much to gain. No Spiral anymore, but creeping on the second hero Spiral.
Yeah, now losing this 1 grunt does hurt Spiral as well. If he had 3 grunts, he could creep the natural pretty easily, but with only 2, not really doable. Has to take some smaller camps to start things off with. Ring for him also. Now the Sanctum coming for HawK, but only 1. Has to wait a little bit longer for the second.
A player's forces are under
Farseer's
attack.
quite hurt. Definitely needs some time here, and HawK is creeping the green spots away. This is not too great. It's always good consumables. Lots of illusions now. And he knows exactly what Spiral is doing.
Scroll of the Beast. Not really what you want. If you can use it early, maybe, like around 40 supply, it could be good.
Yeah, if he goes 2 Wyvern and then pops it, that could be insane. HawK playing is really aggressive.
A player's forces are under attack.
It's a Raider opening. What? I don't get that. He was very hero folksy throughout the entire tournament so far, so maybe that's why.
Lots of illusions. HawK is making good use of them. Canceling clarities all over the place. Despite the fact that they don't do any damage, they do still cancel healing.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah man, fucking illusion mechanics cost me so many questions. This stupid quiz I'm doing every Thursday.
Mana Stone. Hello! One of the best items in the camp. Perhaps the best item. TC with the Ring of Regen. Throw the Beast. Not the best items, Ring of Regen, I mean, it's kind of helpful. But of course, Pendant of Energy, which is overpowered, is the dream item.
Again, the Farseer is so low. HawK is using his power spike really well. Or the achievements he got in the early game. And now the double Sanctum is there. And now mass production starts. He's still quite low on lumber, but he just invested into Priest Adept, so that's kind of fine. Shop that as well.
Isn't it a mistake? Not like falling back to the natural for HawK? Shouldn't he have called Militia and taken the Merchant?
He's so low on lumber already.
Yeah, but he's got all the, like, he's got enough lumber for a little while. Like, he's got his buildings and stuff. He doesn't really need much lumber now. Would have been TC level 3 prevented. Would have been the aura stolen. But the MK first perhaps wants to creep level 3 safely. And with the Tuskars, this should be doable.
By making sure that there's no weird tier 2 expansion. Checks where's my opponent. Is he there? No, so he steals the Scorpions away. Solo creep on the Mountain King now. Level 3 coming, and these claps will hurt, and there's gonna be a lot of them. Very early control magic by HawK.
Ooh, mana pot. I feel like Spiral has to focus on this MK. He doesn't have that many grunts though, to put in the right clicks.
Spiral is already at Chain Lightning 2, so it's not that bad that there's control magic. We'll go for the damage over the wolves. He's level 2 as well. We have an Immo Potion, we have a Beast Scroll. Is that enough against 600 extra mana on a level 3 MK?
Control the Beast popped. Can be stolen by these breakers. And it's happening. Stormbolt, Clap, lots of spells being used right away. Of course, this MK has so much mana. Stomp in the back, also hitting the casters. Lots of units dropping low here for Spiral. Doesn't have a heal throw anymore. Slow speed instead being used. So many Kodos. Did they all devour? No, only a single one.
Oh, and that one is under attack. Another clap and more kills for this MK. This is not looking good for the Orc at all. HawK with a 10 supply lead. Even the tower is at 50%. Now the Kodo joins in again. Tries to get some lunch, and there we go, but might be focused right away. Storm was okay, Purge against the slow, so Kodo is safe, but that one, the third one, that won't happen for them. Casters all hurt. Oh my, but the clap is huge. It's a massacre everywhere.
Next clap. Oh my god! That's 4 kills. Almost 5. Got more Stormbolt. Can get more kills. It's gonna give him a breaker back as well. HawK in full control of this game now.
Wyvern added, finally. Not sure if this Raider transition really was the best thing to do. Kodo killed by the pickaxes of the peasants. They can take this one home. And now push onto the Great Hall. Spiral, can you hold on? Mass production? It's only 36 supply. It's no mana. Uses the clarity now. Damage is of course laughable for HawK with this army against buildings. But I guess Spiral is just giving it up.
Yeah, there's no way he can fight against this anymore. His best call here is run by, rat style, go for the economy, death by 1,000 cuts. Getting some reinforcements on the way would be nice. Picks up one sorceress, maybe a second.
Heal scroll for HawK. That was big. This Archmage movement was a little risky. Spiral anticipated that. But yeah, in the end, looks like this. Thank you, Dihido, for the 10 euro donation. Thanks for your great work, guys. Keep it up. We try real hard. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Alright, here we go. TC, Farseer into the main. Ooh, that's a big chain lightning. Wants to connect with the Stomp also, and... Oh! It's gonna be a lot of peasant kills. This will most likely cost Spiral here the TP out. But he's getting a lot of kills.
There's no real threat against the building, obviously, but how many workers can he kill? HawK is down to 52 gold only, trying to take out the Arcane Tower. That would pretty much open the floodgates. HawK aiming for that Raider uses both of his spells to no success.
He's got Brilliant Zora. It's fine.
Spiral lost the Expo, trying to rebuild it now. Got Watch Awards all over, so Spiral sees pretty much exactly what's up with that Witch Doctor.
It looks like Spiral's been watching a lot of grubby games. I've seen a lot of games of his where the game looks exactly like this. He falls behind and then it's run by. Sentry wards everywhere. But this time Spiral doesn't have a TP anymore.
In a situation like this, speed scrolls are important.
Forces are under attack.
Speed scrolls are very good. And HawK is going for creeping now. Is that the right call? You are strong enough already. You will win a fight. I think it's more about dealing damage to the opponent. Securing that he doesn't get an expansion. I think creeping is the wrong call here. TP back forced though. HawK keeps his main safe. It's a Raider.
He still didn't get a heal scroll. TC was at the shop. He just didn't get anything. That was weird. Oh, did he get a
Players'
TP
forces
maybe?
are under attack.
Not sure. Spiral's
And the
army
sentries
is
are so
moving.
good in this situation. Always giving the vision. Sentries are so crazy. Like this is actually insane. How can one unit give you a vision of the whole map? Oh, look at the penguin! He's swimming in the water! I've never seen that before.
Oh, how cute!
I didn't know he could do that. Look at him!
Penguins can do everything. They're so powerful. Anyway, HawK also burned through the big mana stone and the big mana potion, so not unlimited spells anymore.
3 towers at the expansion. And a shaman. I like that. To dispel the elementals.
The Spiral, what now? He either has to portal into the base and rush over or go for a counterattack. Wyvern take care of that Arcane Tower. 2 Raiders this time. And Lightning Shield into the Passant line. Oh, we love that. TP forced. Counter TP. But again, a lot of damage done. And guess what? Oh, okay. Great Hall reset.
Very annoying game for HawK. He knows exactly what's coming next. Spiral's gonna run into his main. But how can you deal with this? How can you win against this strat? Now that there's 3 towers up. Now that there's another expansion coming up. And again, he's going for creeping. And at the risk of repeating myself, I think this is a mistake. What is this really doing for him?
Maybe HawK is turning into a pacifist, you know?
I guess so. No pillage yet for Spiral, so he's not getting extra gold here. Force the TP again, though.
Speed scroll out. This time he might be able to catch him. Speed scroll still good. Oh, here's the slow now, though. Spiral has a TP. Stormbolt. Wait a minute. That's the invo potion for sure.
That should have been a really easy invo dodge for Spiral. But didn't do it fast enough. Now the expansion is pretty close to done.
HawK again. Heavy lumber problems. Builds a mill now for that. They're finding each other again in the middle of the map. That's not what Spiral wants right now.
Should go for a Zeppelin, shouldn't he? With a Zeppelin, you can evade these intercepts.
There's no rifles, there's no shackles, which of course don't work. I mean, Dragonhawk right clicks. No gyros.
A player's forces are under attack.
HawK's so scared that the attack is coming.
Oh, the Magnetor Reaver. 350 HP only. It's an easy steal.
Warsong battle drums. We don't have Kodo, so that's kind of fine. Chat is suggesting sentry gyrocopters against the sentries, but with HawK's lumber economy, I doubt that a workshop is realistic here. Thank you, Stars and Stripes, for the 300 bits. More penguins! Whenever we see them, we will deliver. So much about positioning right now. Stormbolt. HawK wants this fight. He's down in supply. Gets one unit. How much more? Control on the Mountain King with Ensnare. Control magic was there to block a little. Didn't work out. Do we have another speed scroll? Yes.
Good positioning now for Spiral. He can threaten the attack into the main once again. That's exactly what he should do and what he is doing. He's got a TP to get out. Spiral should not go back. He should just go for the counterattack. What's he doing?
Well, now he wants the brawl. 800, 900 gold for HawK. He wants to fight in the shadows of the towers. He knows that the shop is unoccupied. He gets that heal scroll, I guess. Needs heal scrolls. Yeah, gets both of it. Wyvern taken out pretty quickly. Clap was okay. Stun and lightning shield into the backline. Purchase on the water elementals. So that damage has been taken out. The Wyvern roam freely. TC finds himself in the surround. Gets a lot of mana burn due to feedback. Both carry heroes with their invo potion. They are safe for now. What about the mana though? For the TC is looking really good. For the MK, And HawK is to retreat. Expo saved.
And the TC now so close to 5. One more purge on a water elemental will be enough. And now Spiral so much supply. Knows exactly that there's no counter expo thanks to the sentries. He sees everything on the map. Well, I guess there's a bit of a blind spot in the middle. But by process of elimination, he should still know where his opponent is.
Look at the supply. We get Blizzard against the towers. Makes it a little easier to wreck them. But there should be enough Ensnare to just cancel this whenever it's getting dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, that was a nice and important Stormbolt against the TC. Otherwise, this could have been a crazy storm.
And the expansion keeps mining.
Yep.
Main's about to expire, though, for Spiral a lot sooner than for HawK. Oh, Invis Potion on the TC. This could have big impact.
Yeah, the first one went to the MK. Not the second one.
HawK is really close in supply, though, suddenly.
Yeah, he was really rich before the last fight. And he didn't get the round of items. The last one. So he saved money on that and put it into units. But it feels like the guillotine is falling on him. If this push doesn't work.
Kodo bravely going forward. That's perhaps a little bit too deep. Oh, here comes the Invis. Out of the shadows comes the Stomp. And the AM in trouble. He's ensnared and he's just about to die. Invul transfer. With that, he survives. With the Blizzard doing good damage. But the TC having more and more Stomps, more and more stun. MK in a bad position. Stomp still hits him somehow. Ensnare follow up. MK will die. And once again, HawK has to play this with only one hero against who he did great damage. But can he find the kills?
Oh, and snare on him. Chain lightning execution. Double kill for the German. That must be game. That must be playoffs for Spiral. Despite some mistakes here and there, now he feels the groove. Now that is the strength of the ORC. Chain lightning, lightning shield, storms, all that good stuff. MK still has mana, consumes the potion despite the tavern revive, but he finds himself under the net and under the ground in a bit. Yep, there we go. Triple kill for Spiral. GG's, and HawK in the lower bracket. Spiral in the round of 8 alongside Blade and Neutron.
Looked like we were going to the 1-1 right there, with HawK in the lead there in the mid game, but well fought back by Spiral. A little bit nasty, a little bit rat style, but whatever it takes to get the W.
Yeah, rat style. We hear this more and more. Some people love it, some people hate it. Spiral, definitely the one who loves it here. Feeling forced into it and playing it really, really, really well. Forcing so many town portals. He was drying HawK out. All that gold into TPs, not invuls, not heal scrolls, not mana potions, not army, not any cool upgrades. That was just orc lame par excellence. And Spiral with that 2-0. Not his greatest day, as we said, but it was enough for this group. And that leaves us with 3 players and 1 spot for the playoffs. That is HawK, the Great Wall, and Night End.
And TG Dubs and Night End, they'll be coming up next in an Undead Mirror in the lower bracket to see who's going to be going up against HawK. An Undead Mirror, you might think, Fiend Mirror, boring. But this is TGW, you guys. If there's one guy who refuses to play Fiend Mirror, it is Mr. TGW. So, this is going to be something new. This is going to be interesting.
Again, so many questions. And soon we will have the answers. Back in 5 minutes. Stay tuned and spread the word.